take a trip into sports news now. The two northern teams featuring at the ongoing Channels National Kids Cup, Research Model Primary School Kaduna and 123 Primary School Niger State have qualified for the quarterfinals of the football tournament. In the final Group A, the team from Kaduna defeated Winners Primary School from Ondo 6-1 to top the table. In this report, our sports correspondent Austin Okonakpan takes a look at the final round of games from the group.
The much anticipated second Group A game between Research Model Kaduna and 123 Primary School Niger confirmed talks that the Channels National Kids Cup is getting tougher. These guys from Ogun have crashed out of the competition but have chosen to make new friends from Kaduna.
A free kick going the way of 123 Primary School.
In the 6th minute, those supporters were silenced when skipper of 123 Primary School, Wanda Peter, called in a goal from a set piece. It was such a beauty to watch.
Brilliant free kick.
The boys from Kaduna didn't sit back. They upped their game, took the fight to Niger, and in the 54th minute, they found what they were looking for.
An opportunity, and it's a goal.
The game ended 1-1. The spoils just had to be shared. After a 2-hour rest, the team from Kaduna returned to the pitch for the final group game against Winners Primary School from Ondo State. And in just 2 minutes, Research Model took the lead, and whenever the boys from Ondo blinked, they considered a goal.
An easy tapping. Said it was 6 minutes of madness. And so, let's wait to see what happens at the end of the day. Oh my word! Said the word, and they...
In less than 10 minutes, they were trailing 4-0, and that forced coach Adepoju Banjo to change his goalkeeper.
Don't play football.
That change couldn't stop Kaduna from winning the game 6-1 to book their place in the quarterfinals. In just 2 days of football, we've experienced a festival of goals. And knowing that they're being scored by kids makes it so sweet for TV. Remember, the national finals took off with 16 teams. 8 have said goodbye to this competition. 8 still remaining. And by Monday, it will be cut down to just 4. It's season 7 of the Channels National Kids Cup, and we're still so interested in catching them young. From the Teslim Balogun Stadium in Lagos, Nigeria, I'm Austin Okonakpan reporting for Channels Television News.
Meanwhile, after Sunday's rest today, action resumes for the quarter-final phase of the Channels National Kids Cup on Monday. Group B winners, Nana Primary School, will take on Lagos team Uncle Bayos, who were runners-up in Group D. Another quarter-final pairing will be the game between the winners in Group D and Yanuge Primary School up against Group B winners, which will be Muslim Community School in Oshun. Group A leaders Research Model Primary School will also be in action against Focal Point Primary School Kwara, who were Group C runners-up. 123 Primary School Niger State will face Christ the King Primary School Akwa Ibom for a place in the semi-final. The quarterfinal matches will kick off from 7 a.m. at the Teslim Balogun Stadium in Lagos. Coach Stephen Keshi has invited Super Eagles goalkeeper and captain Vincent Enyama and 14 other foreign-based professionals for next month's 2017 Africa Cup of Nations qualifying match against Chad in Kaduna. Enyama is joined by defenders Godfrey Obabona and Kenneth Omeru, midfielders Ogeyo Nazi and Babatunde Michael, and forward Ahmed Musa, who were all at last year's FIFA World Cup finals in Brazil. Right back Leon Balogun, Israel-based John Ugu, former Switzerland junior international Stephen Uko, Aaron Samuel and Odion Igalo have also been called alongside former junior international Rabiu Ibrahim. New faces Willem Troost Ekong, a defender based in the Netherlands, Kingsley Madu of AS Trenčín in Slovakia, and Portugal-based Anderson Essiti complete the list. Australia's women's football coach Alan Stajcic admits the team has a tough task ahead as they settle down in Canada for the FIFA Women's World Cup tournament, which begins next month. The first match for the Super Falcons group opponents will be on June 8th when they play 2002 Olympic gold medalist United States in Winnipeg. Co-captain Claire Polkingoran said the players were ready for the World Cup tournament and undaunted by the size of the competition. Australia, who have reached the quarterfinals in the past two tournaments in 2007 and in 2011, also faced Nigeria and Sweden in their group matches.
And lots of we've got a pretty tough assignment game one. There's a small country called America who have been pretty dominant in women's football for a long time. So, that's our first challenge, and that's really all we're focusing on at the moment. There's a cliche where you focus on one game at a time, and it's there for a reason. It's there because you need to focus on the things that matter and the things that first at hand. And they're our first match, and can't wait to get into that match and really take it to them. Yeah, look, we think we want to challenge for medals and challenge for the title. There's no reason why this group can't. There's lots of potential and lots of excitement within this group and energy and enthusiasm. So we're ready to take on the world. We think we're a good team and an emerging team, and come June the 8th, we'll be ready to go.
At the end of the day, it's still football, and you go out there playing the same game that you've played all your life. So. Not much changes in terms of football, but obviously it's on a much bigger stage and there's a lot more at stake. So I guess the pressure has increased a little bit, but this is what we train for, and these are the tournaments that every player wants to play in.
Emergency situations are not new to Nigeria, as the 2012 flood disaster that hit several states in the country, leaving thousands homeless. Anambra State Governor Willie Obiano, in a bid to prepare ahead of time to contain any emergency that may arise, has inaugurated a 7-man board headed by himself to superintend activities of the State Emergency Management Agency, SEMA. Delivering his charge to the board members, Governor Willie Obiano urged the members to be proactive in discharging their duties, especially in the areas of setting up preventive plans instead of being taken unawares that could lead to loss of life and property. In 2012, the flood disaster shook Anambra State to its marrows. It was an emergency situation which the government found very hard to contain, leaving thousands homeless, with poverty index hitting the skies. On May 1st, 2014, an emergency situation erupted in Anambra West local government area. Fulani herdsmen swooped on the community and with machetes dealt deadly blows on people, leaving one person dead and several others wounded. Another took place, this time by Kogi farmers on the Aguleri farmers. Several people were killed, many more were injured. In 2015, there was a cholera outbreak in Inoma community in Anambra West, which claimed over 8 lives for lack of potable water. The emergency situations are countless, but in a move to plan and strategize ahead of any such emergencies, Anambra State's governor set up a 7-man board to cater to issues concerning emergency in health, terrorism, environment, commerce, and others.
This emergency is a life-saving agency. Very important because if you act fast, we'll be able to reduce loss of life.
The State Commissioner for Health, in addition to the governor's charge, outlined the premise of function of the board.
The function of this board is actually to coordinate emergency responses for the state, to coordinate sectoral response for health, fire, police, road safety, and other things that may be needed at one time, and to coordinate responses for flooding, building collapses, road accidents, fire outbreaks, and other disasters.
The event ended with a group photograph. There will be a constant reminder of the day they resolved to think and plan ahead for Anambra State. I'd like to remind you our community report tonight, where residents of Okeoko Sekoni community, of Ewekoro local government area in Ogun State are under threat by activities of Lafarge Wapco Cement Company. Their homes, farms and health have so far been affected by quarry activities carried out by the cement factory, but the company insisted it acquired the land from then Western Region governments. It's willing, though, to relocate the residents to another location. A special report examines the plight of the more than 1,000 people living in the community.
Etisola, now you're talking.
Like a befitting metaphor for a crumbling empire, the twin communities of Okeoko Sekoni and Okeoko Egbado are apparently in the final stages of physical structural decay. The rustic buildings have seen better days. Weakened and cracked walls supported with logs of wood and the absence of any social amenities tell a screaming tale of obvious neglect. The infrastructure is also a reflection of several inhabitants' state of health, a situation the residents blame on the activities of a quarry belonging to the Ewekoro cement factory.
You know, when they plast and the dust have been coming down here, all our vegetables have been dyed. This village now, all the houses have been cracked. If some people has been, you know, when you go that side, you will see that every house has been cracked away.
According to the inhabitants, these communities have existed for over 200 years. Apparently, they have not evolved very much from their original state. The people engage in small-scale agriculture, while their women process the farm produce either for sale or consumption. But even this very basic lifestyle is under threat by an industrial giant.
From the existence of this community, we are farmers. They are planting cocoa, cassava, rice, everything like we need because of the hazard of the business. It affects our crops also.
However, the cement factory seems to be aware of its culpability and is set to make amends. This would involve relocating about 1,000 residents, their deities and long-dead ancestors. About 60 acres of land have been acquired to provide a better residential accommodation and other facilities, including potable water.
This land where the two communities are, the Okeoko Egbado and Okeoko Sekoni, is our land which was acquired through the government of the Western Region in the early 50s. So these guys have virtually been on our land for over 50 years. So we feel that we should relocate these people so that they shouldn't impact on our operations.
You know, before we come here, there has been on grant. And when we are going to move them. We have experts that are in charge of that will surely do all the necessary rituals before they can be moved.
Despite the crumbling structures, being uprooted from their ancestral home to another location may prove a heavy sentimental burden for the residents of these communities, but the cement factory could make it a lot easier to bear with proper rehabilitation in the new location, complete with modern comforts and amenities.
Etisola, now you're talking.
Iraqi forces have deployed Shia militia towards the city of Ramadi after it fell to Islamic State militants last week. The government is trying to retake one of its major cities, but the U.S. government says it should not have fallen to the insurgents in the first place. If the government had shown enough seriousness about fighting the group. Defense Secretary Ashton Carter said the government forces vastly outnumbered the militants, but lacked the willpower to face them, choosing instead to withdraw. Before now, the U.S. has invested in the Iraqi army, training troops and providing weapons, but But since the withdrawal of the foreign forces, there's been a decline in the preparedness of the army to face the country's security problems. Mr. Carter says the U.S. will continue with the training, but cannot give the Iraqis the will to fight. And the main news again. The All Progressives Congress has accused the federal government of preparing to hand over a nation in crisis. President-elect Muhammadu Buhari has said that he will not appoint ministers nominated by serving governors. And the fuel scarcity has been biting even harder. Oil marketers have refused to lift fuel unless they're paid. That's it on the news at 10 tonight. Thank you for watching. I am Amarachi Ibani. Good night and have a wonderful weekend.